Everyone is searching for that one magic tip to fix their relationship, but after working with countless couples and individuals, the truth became crystal clear to me. The most powerful relationship advice, it isn't actually a special technique or a tool or a tip. What I'm sharing is something that we all need to be doing. In fact, if you only ever watched one of my videos, I would want it to be this one. I'm Lindsay. This is Loving with Intention. Let's dive on in. And I know that I literally share tips and tools all the time at Loving with Intention. So you might be like, now you're saying that none of that matters? Not exactly. It's not that it doesn't matter, but if you are missing this one piece, the truth is, it doesn't matter how powerful a tool or tip is if it's only used once. The real change only happens when you return to it again and again. My single best piece of relationship advice is consistency. And I really want to drive that home because I know you've probably heard this before in many things like relationship growth, going to the gym, getting better at playing a sport or an instrument. Be consistent, show up, keep doing the work. But hearing it isn't the same as really getting it. When we dive into anything, we so often start out completely nailing it, being consistent. Think about any relationship growth tip that you've tried. Maybe it's giving lots of appreciation or speaking your partner's love language, taking accountability for your stuff, being extra intentional with hellos and goodbyes. You hear the tip, you hear the importance, and then you go hard. Maybe for a couple days, maybe for a couple weeks. And then when things get hard or uncomfortable, boring, life gets busy, consistency is the first thing to go. And then connection starts to fade. The same old patterns creep up again. You're back in the power struggle and you're thinking, wait, what happened? Things were starting to feel better. That doesn't mean the work didn't work. It means the work stopped, which happens so freaking innocently. So innocently. Life is busy, and our current patterns that we have in our relationships literally running on autopilot. Replacing old patterns with new patterns is no small thing. So we want to bring in so much love, as we always do, so much love around consistency fading. I have seen this again and again and again in my own relationship. When things start feeling hard, so when I start to notice that I'm feeling really annoyed with my partner, or I'm frustrated with him, when I'm focusing all the stuff that I haven't been liking that he's been doing, I check myself. Have I been doing the work? Have I been showing up in the most loving ways myself? Have I fallen back into my own unhealthy patterns? Have I been doing things that I used to do and now I'm doing them more? The answer is usually, and maybe always, yes. It's another opportunity to recommit to the process, to recommit to the tips and the tools that work, even if I don't feel like it. And sometimes if I'm feeling really stuck, I hit up my therapist to help me recommit. I go to her and say, I know I'm focusing on what's not working. I'm overthinking. I'm feeling stuck. Let's get out of this. And in one session, she helps me with the mindset shift that I need. And this is what I get the honor of doing with clients. But when it comes to myself, even though I know what to do, I still need that outside support. So bless outside support. We love it. And I talk about thriving relationships a lot, which doesn't mean that you don't have conflict or challenges. It just means you've done the work. You know the tools to get out of the struggle when you go back into it. You know what's under conflict, under disconnection. You've done the healing work. You continue to do the healing work. You rebuild trust. You're rebuilding trust. And you choose to recommit to get back to thriving again and again. People in strong, connected, thriving relationships, they don't just learn the tools. They return to them over and over and over, which is so hard, like I said, when things are feeling hard, and it's so important. So imagine you started a garden. You hadn't done this before. You watched YouTube videos. You bought the perfect seeds I've never started a garden, but I imagine you would buy the perfect seeds at the right time of year and you would get super focused, super intentional, and your garden blooms and it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And then things get busy and you stop watering it as much as you're supposed to. It would make sense that things would start to die, that weeds would pop up, that it wouldn't look and feel as incredible as it did when you were actively, consistently tending to it. It's not because the garden is broken, it's because you lost your consistency, which we all do. And now that it's overrun with weeds, it can feel super hard to imagine making it pretty again. Your brain would think of all of the effort that that's going to take, and you might just call it, oh, well, we had a good run. We were a gardener for a minute. So I actually just had 2 separate past clients reach out about booking in more sessions. They reached out in the same week. My heart went out to them because they're having challenges, and my heart also celebrated the heck out of them. This is what it takes to thrive. If you look around your relationship right now and you're seeing weeds, doesn't mean you're failing or that all hope is lost. It's actually an invitation to actively get back to it. Bring back the consistency, or maybe bring that consistency for the first time. A thriving relationship is not perfect. It's consistently nurtured. Again, everyone falls out of consistency, so let's talk about what you can do if you find yourself there right now. If you stop and think about your relationship right now and you're like, we've been really disconnected. Every day feels like Groundhog Day. I don't feel appreciated. I don't feel seen. I bring things up that are bothering me and my partner just goes into fix-it mode. They barely pay attention. They get defensive. Or we've been arguing more lately. We've been bickering. I just feel annoyed. Give yourself so much love. Those are the weeds. Today is the perfect time to commit to or recommit to loving with intention. Ding, ding, ding. So what does that actually look like? Especially if you're the only one who's doing the work. It is about small things often. You don't have to plan a date night or a trip or plan this whole evening together. Start with small things often. Ask yourself, have there been relationship tips or tools that I've heard, either here at Loving with Intention or in relationship books, podcasts, therapists, whatever it is, anything that you've heard and you started doing that you're no longer doing? If anything comes to mind, recommit to that thing. If not, don't worry, I got tips for days. And it always starts with you. Always, always, always. We know that you can't change your partner. You get to start doing the work and see the ripple effect of your efforts. So you can start with regular appreciation. Heck, even pause this video and text your partner an appreciation. Hey, I really appreciated hey, I don't know if you'd say that, but I really appreciated that you took the garbage out before work. Or I really appreciated that you unloaded the dishwasher. I really appreciated your positive energy. Anything, anything. Ask yourself, what can I appreciate? Sit with that and your brain will go to work to find something. Appreciating your partner does not mean that you're okay with any crappy behavior that they had, any unhealthy patterns. If you go to think of something to appreciate and your brain is like, nope, they were in a bad mood this morning. They left dishes everywhere. They rushed out the door. They were kind of rude. They didn't even listen to me. Meet that with love. Bless our sweet brains. We can so innocently, sometimes without even recognizing it, get stuck in the pattern of noticing the hard, the weeds. Then it's like there's so many weeds that we can't see the flowers anymore. We get to recommit and train our brains to find the flowers. They are there, even if they're tiny. And the truth is, your partner is way more likely to change their unhealthy patterns or get on board with growth or hear you, appreciate, see you, if they hear the things they're doing well, often, as opposed to only hearing what they're not doing well. And if it feels too hard to say the appreciations, start with writing them down daily, at least 5 things. Even doing this can shift your energy, and your energy shift has a ripple effect in your relationship. If you just imagine, say you're at work and you share a cubicle with a coworker, a different coworker for 3 days a week and a different one for 2 days a week. The first one is often in a bad mood, complaining about traffic, their coffee, the work they have to do. The second coworker is often in a good mood, pointing out things that made them happy that day, talking about what they're looking forward to, things that they're grateful for. Your energy is likely to be different around these 2 coworkers because of the ripple effect of their energy alone. Knowing this, you get to be so intentional about the energy you bring into your home. Easier said than done, I know. If someone had told me years ago when things were so hard and I was so miserable because we were fighting all the time, my partner was being such a jerk, spoiler alert, I was also being a jerk, I would learn later, but I would have been like, of course I want to be happier, but how can I when this is our life? So I truly get it. And one thing you can do today is choose to look for things to appreciate. It's one small step in the direction of the energy that you would love. And you got this. And I want to share another thing that you can do to bring in love. And as I was thinking about this, I was like, man alive, I feel like a broken record sometimes. If someone is watching all my videos, I talk about appreciation so much. I talk about looking at your own patterns so much, etc., etc., etc. It's like the same things. Of course, there's new content too. And there's a lot of themes that come up again and again. And then I realized just how important it is that I do keep talking about the very same things because of exactly what we're talking about today. Imagine I only made one video about the importance of appreciation. We know that humans tend to go hard on something for a few days or weeks, then fall back into the same old patterns. Me talking about certain things again and again is important because of consistency. We need these reminders. We need to hear things said in a totally different way. Things land for us differently depending on so many factors. The time of day, the state of our nervous system when we heard it, the state of our relationship when we heard it. So many things. So in my relationship, we have recommitted to giving each other superpowered appreciations multiple times. We decided to do it with our morning coffee a while back. We did it for 2 weeks and then it was gone for weeks, for months actually. Now we are back at it. Superpowered appreciation for each other every time we take our evening vitamins because we take them every night. So we stacked it onto that. So we've been doing it for about a week. It is feeling good. It is feeling great. It's feeling better than the mornings because our energy is different. So one of these days, I believe it's really going to stick. And until then, if we fall out of this routine, we're going to recommit again. So you can grab my free handout in the description box about a superpowered appreciation because superpowering it makes it so much more meaningful. And if your partner's not on board yet, you can still give them one because imagine how good it would feel for you to hear a superpowered appreciation just out of the blue. You get to do that for them and go first. And if appreciation does not feel like your jam, it's not what you want to lead into, here's a bunch of quick things that you can do. Get intentional about speaking their love language with consistency. Be intentional with your hellos and goodbyes. Make eye contact, have a loving tone with consistency. Notice when your partner's talking to you, sharing a story, they're venting, they're asking a question. Give them your full attention with consistency. Validate their perspective, even if you have a different one. It makes sense. They feel that way. Do that with consistency. Bring in 20-second hug or 6-second kiss. In that amount of time, you decrease cortisol, which is your stress hormone. You increase oxytocin, love, and bonding. Do that daily with consistency. Choose to focus on your reactions. Pause and take a deep breath before reacting with consistency. You can choose just one of these things to start tending to the weeds with consistency. Remember, these tips and ideas are only relationship changing, I'm going to say it again, with consistency. And if you're thinking, this is hard, it's going to take too much time, too much effort, I feel you. Especially if you're the only one watching and leaning in. I have been there, and nothing changes if nothing changes. Things will stay the same or get worse if you watch this and do nothing. And when we create a thriving relationship, we actually free up time. All that time spent feeling disconnected, annoyed, bickering, or just going through the motions day to day, it gets freed up to enjoy. Your energy is so much better to enjoy it. Choosing to recommit to consistency is where it's at. I literally eat, sleep, and breathe relationship growth. I think about it all the time. And I still need to set reminders. I get outside support. I take my own advice. We are in this together. Consistency is key until the end of time. And over time, it gets more and more fun, and it starts here today. So your intentional action for the day is to ask yourself, where have I fallen out of consistency? Or what do I want to pour into with consistency? And then lean in. Get extra intentional if it means setting an alarm reminder on your phone to give appreciation or putting a sticky note on the mirror for the thing that you want to do. Go the extra mile. If you choose appreciation, remember you can grab the superpowered appreciation in the description box to set yourself up for success. The video on the screen is a deeper dive into the areas that you can pour your energy into and just how important these areas are. This is something I talk to my clients about often. You are amazing. I'm sending so much love into your day. Remember, nothing changes if nothing changes. So let's have a consistently intentional week.